Guys, we found one of the rarest three-wheelers ever made at this tractor supply store. Stay with us. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and we're in the truck about to go check out something hopefully cool. You never know what you're gonna find or where you're gonna find it. Just gotta be ready. So let's go see what this guy's got. What had happened was, as I was at this tractor supply store 2 days ago and parked, walking in, and some old guy yells at me and goes, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 for that pickup truck." And I said, "I'll give you a ride in it." And then we started talking all this stuff, talk trucks, and then we started talking about motorcycles. And he goes, "Hey, I may have something in my yard that I think you'd be interested in." So he started telling me about it, and he was telling me he thought it was a early 60s Kawasaki three-wheeler, and I knew that Kawasaki didn't make them that early. So I was thinking, well, what could it be? I knew Kawasaki didn't make them till the 80s, right? So I drive over to his house, and we walk back to it, and we find this guy. And you're saying, what is it? It says Kawasaki. It's a Kawasaki engine, but it's a Commuter Industries T380, I believe is what it's called. T380. They had a TE380 that was electric start. This one is a pull start version. Majority of them came red. This one is a green one, so I'm still trying to find out more about this guy. Not a lot of details online about this. His company wasn't in existence very long, and let's just look it over. It is some heavy duty tubing. It is all, look at this front end. It's just square tubing that was bent. Piece of sheet metal between. I am missing the front half of the front fender, but look at the handlebars. Just put a little V in it. Mount a headlight. It's just square tubing, and then you have some round tubing building the frame. Again, this thing is heavy duty, but zero suspension. It's all your suspension are in these tires, and let me just tell you, these don't have any suspension left. So fiberglass body, fiberglass front fender. This guy's busted, it gets mounted up there, but this is the cover for the belt cover. But then you go around, this is the belt cover. This is the Kawasaki engine model. It's a KF82D, which is a 341cc single cylinder. Engine turns, which is good. The engine turns over. It felt like it had a little bit of compression. It felt like it had some compression, let's be honest. It's complete. Carbs here, air cleaner, seat. Well, what's left of the seat. We are missing a throttle control up here. We do have part of a throttle cable, but it'll need a throttle cable. And other than that, it's pretty clean. Except for, if you look down on the ground, you can see it back in there. Maybe if I do this, you can see that guy right there. That's the recoil spring for the starter, so it's going to need that. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. When I went to Tractor Supply, I went there to get 2 bolts to mount up the starter for the Truckster. I didn't go there looking for an obscure three-wheeler that, you know, who knows if anybody knows what they are, what they're about. Like I said, very little details about it, but this guy is complete. The guy I got it from, his really good friend had passed away, and that guy, his friend, bought it new. 2 of them that were shipped to them in crates. When I was at his house picking it up, he was talking to the widow on the phone about it, and she was telling him, yeah, it got shipped here in crates. There were 2 of them, and he did nothing to them except they used them to hunt. So I'm trying to figure out what this model is. Like I said, majority of them were red. I haven't seen any green ones, but limited research done in just a couple hours today. So I'm hoping to do a little bit more just to find out about it. I don't even know if I want to make it run. If I do, it's going to be one of those things that you make it run and see what happens. But I don't know. You guys, let me know. What do you want us to do with this thing? We could punt it down the road, or we could see if we can, you know, do something to it. And if I were to punt it down the road, there are just a couple of things I would do before I would kick it down the road. This rack that you step on, this step, whatever you want to call it, is bent here. I'd want to straighten it up so I can mount the rear rack. The rear rack, which is really smart. So, and this is not just the rear rack, but it's all one unit. It slides into here and it pivots on this guy. So all you have to do is pull that out and the whole thing flips over. You don't have to take it apart, which I think is kind of smart. Because normally you got to take the rack off, then you got to take off the body, then you got to, it's just a pain to get to all these things. So that was pretty well thought out. But I guess they could think of stuff like that because they weren't spending a lot of time on anything else. You know, this is a three-wheeler version of all the early mini bikes. Let's just buy an engine, let's figure out some kind of frame and a rear end, in this case, and a rear end, and let's see if we can make it work. So I'm not 100% sure. We'll come up with some more details on this guy, but it's kind of interesting. This, like I said, this thing is complete. Airbox is on it. Exhaust is on it. Looks like the reason why this guy is not on, you have to take off the tire to put this guy back on. So it probably came off, and then the starter spring is busted, so it didn't get put back on. But it's cool. It's definitely interesting. So guys, this is where we are. It's people always get messages. I wish I could find stuff around. You know, I can't ever find anything. Somehow I find them when I'm not looking. And I've always found that that's the best time to buy one, is when you're not looking for it. Because believe me, this one was a really good price. And it's super interesting. If anybody knows anything about commuter industries, or if you live in Cascade, Iowa, give me an email, motorcyclerewind@gmail.com. I want to find out as much information about this thing as I can. Guys, this is one of the things I like most about these old motorcycles and old, whatever you want to call this thing, is that I love ones that I've never heard of. That's the only reason why I bought this one, is because I'd never heard of it before. And it gave me an opportunity to do some research and maybe to learn something that I didn't know anything about. First off, I already learned something. I didn't know commuter industries existed, and I didn't know there was a town called Cascade, Iowa. I'm ahead of the game. And I was unsure that Kawasaki made these engines, that made just industrial engines. I knew that they had to, but this is kind of an interesting thing. So digging in, trying to find out more about said engine, trying to find out more about this frame builder or this company. And plus it may be kind of fun to see if we can get it back on the road. So guys, to be 100% honest, the only thing holding me up on really digging into this guy and moving forward, it's not one thing, it's actually three things. It's 1, 2, and 3. It's the tires. If I can find tires that are at a reasonable rate, then I'll probably move forward with trying to make it run and ride. That's the big holdup. I don't mind making it run, but I won't be able to ride it. Well, I mean, you could, but you own these lumpy things. So that's kind of the big thing. Again, I wasn't in the market for a commuter industries T380 three-wheeler ATV, but I own one now, so what do I want to do with it? don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. It's kind of cool though. So guys, there you have it. Our new to me, super obscure, crazy rare, doesn't mean it's valuable, just means they didn't make a bunch of them. Three-wheeler, Commuter Industries T380 with a Kawasaki KF82D engine that I found at a tractor store. Guys, just talk to people. You never know who's got something. So guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. Do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day. So your husband got it. Do you remember what year they got it in?
No, I don't. He got it before we were married for 28 years. He got it before we got married.
Oh gosh, so.
Yeah, it was something he had when we got together. He got it in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's what I'm trying to piece together just on this thing, just because there's not a lot of information about them out there, and so
Right.
just trying to push. I've kind of got it together that they came out somewhere in the middle late 70s to the early 80s, is they were made, and they bought two of them and they used them for hunting. Is that what they used them for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They had the motors. They got two, and then they sent them back and told them they wanted the motors beefed up a little bit.
These things weren't designed to go fast. They were just kind of industrial, from what I've discovered.
I rode that one.
Yeah.
And you better be on when you give it the gas.
Oh, yeah. Good.
It will. It pop will in all gears.
That's awesome. Well, this is perfect. We're hoping to get this thing running again and put it back on the road.
Right, I got you.
Just because, why not?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he had worked on a little bit and everything. We were always truck drivers, and
yeah.
We used to. And I had him, and he passed away a little over 3 years ago.
Well, we're gonna do what we can to put this thing back together and see if it'll run and ride. I'm looking for tires right now, so. Well, good. Well, perfect. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'll send you pictures when we get this thing back together. And
sounds good.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jackie.
I got some old pictures I'll have to dig out and see if there's any on it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great. I'd love that.
So.
Yeah, that'd be great, because then I can figure out what colors everything's supposed to be, and then get it back to kind of the way it used to be.
Green color.
Yeah, but the frame was black. The frame was black, and
yes.
And then the green. Yeah, which that seems pretty easy. So it's should be.
If I find pictures, I'll send you some.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Jackie, thanks again for taking the time. Okay, you have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Even get to talk to the original owner. Well, the widow of the original owner. Kind of cool. Yeah, it makes me want to do a little bit more to get this thing going.